Guys, this is my Walking Dead Q&A for this week after episode 5. Thank you to all of you that submitted questions. If you guys want me to continue to do these, send me more questions because I only have enough for this Q&A. So if I want to do another one this week, so send me more questions so I could do that for you guys. Okay, for this Q&A I have 3 questions. Okay, let's get started. The first one is who are the saviors? Basically, the Saviors are a large group of survivors led by their brutal leader Negan. They basically are a biker gang of sorts. Nobody knows exactly how many survivors there are in their group. It could be anywhere between 70 to 200 survivors in Negan's group. They live in a factory. That's their base. It's a heavy fortified factory, basically surrounded by walkers. They tie walkers all over the place just to keep their factory safe, so to speak. And they have a lot of outposts as well, all over the place. One close to Alexandria. As their numbers grow, they get more violent and vicious towards other survivors. They get more confident as well, so they start committing crimes against other people. Some of them go from murder, rape, and theft, as well as blackmail, as well as other various crimes. At some point, Negan deemed them the Saviors. It was rumored that before the apocalypse, maybe Negan and the Saviors were living at the hilltop at some point in their early days of the apocalypse. And Negan basically started recruiting people from the hilltop, the most violent, the most vicious, the more stronger people, to join him. And eventually they left the hilltop. And now they're coming back to the communities. They basically clean out the area for them. They get rid of walkers as much as possible. They keep it clean, basically the area clean. But in exchange for that, they want half of the supplies and half of the rations they have, food or anything they can use. They do this to the hilltop, to Alexandria, and to the kingdom. So that's basically who the Saviors are. Their job is basically to go around, just get supplies from different communities. In exchange, they will keep the area clean. If not, they're either gonna give them a message from Negan, or they're gonna beat them brutally, just to give them like a message, so to speak. Next time, you better have our supplies, or else. So that's who the Saviors are. They're a large group of brutal killers and rapists and just the worst people that you could imagine, going around just taking people's supplies. In exchange for the supplies, they give them a service, so to speak, of cleaning the walkers out of the area for them. So it's going to be interesting to see them in the TV series, because in the comics this is actually the most brutal group ever. And this is the most difficult group that the Rick and the survivors have ever dealt with, including Negan, because Negan is the leader of this. If you're the leader of this type of group, then you're gonna have a lot of leverage towards other communities, especially the numbers and everything. Hopefully, I explained who the Saviors are. Okay, the next question comes from Barbara West. She says, unless I missed something, we still don't know what happened with Michonne and Carol. Where do you think they are, and why haven't they let us know? Great question. Okay, I'm not sure if you noticed this, but in episode 5, which was last Sunday, we actually saw Michonne. She was in the episode briefly. She was talking to Maggie about Glenn, basically where Glenn is and how we're going to find Glenn again. So she was in the episode. I'm not sure if you noticed it, though, because when Diana was on top of the perch in the beginning of the episode, she was looking around, and we were seeing it through her perspective. And she was looking at Maggie and Michonne, basically from far away, so we couldn't really see them. But it was definitely Michonne talking to Maggie. Same thing with Carol. Carol wasn't a necessary part of this episode. I think that's why they didn't include her in the episode, because she wasn't necessary for the story to move forward for this episode. Michonne was the same way. Morgan was the same way. Morgan we only saw in a brief scene. So this episode wasn't really necessary for them, because remember, this episode was basically just Jesse, Diana, and Spencer. That's basically what the whole episode was, as well as Maggie and Aaron. We did get Carl in there. We did get Rick in there, but for the most part, Morgan, Carol, and Michonne weren't needed. That's basically what my answer is for this. They weren't needed. We're definitely going to see them again, especially if next episode is the Saviors. It's going to be interesting to see that because I'm wondering who they are. I think they are the Saviors just because they have guns and everything. So we just have to wait and see. But to answer your question, the reason we didn't see Michonne and Carol in this episode, we saw Michonne briefly, were because they weren't needed for this episode. It was just a character development episode for Diana, Spencer, and Jesse, just to see the type of characters they are. And I guess they didn't want to focus on Michonne and Carol this episode. That's the only thing I could think of. Okay, this will be the final question. Okay, this one comes from Skaixtix. He says, "My question is, what's your favorite season so far?" Okay, so far there's been 6 seasons. Season 6 can't be my favorite right now because it's not complete, so I'm not going to say anything about Season 6. It's definitely a great start to Season 6. Season 1 was great. It's not my favorite, though. Season 2 is definitely not my favorite, just because it's just character development for the first half of the season, and then we get pretty good ending to that season, but overall, I don't think that's my favorite. Season 3 is awesome. That's definitely up there for me. Season 4 was great too, just because of the Herschel stuff and the governor. That was one of the best episodes ever, so that's definitely up there for me as well. But I don't think it's my favorite, to be honest with you, just because of the second half. So far, Season 3 is up there. Season 5 is up there as well for me, just because of the first 3 episodes with the hunters. We got the Beth stuff. I know a lot of people don't like Beth, but it was fun to see her again and everything, just because we got the introduction to Noah as well. And then the second half was Alexandria, so that was great to see with all the new characters, and it was really exciting at the moment with Rick and everything, all that stuff that was happening with Rick towards the finale and everything. I want to say my favorite season so far is Season 5. Just because all the stuff that happened in it, it was really a lot of material in there. Definitely a lot of stuff from the comics, so I was happy about that. Basically, the scenes were basically off the page, so it was really fun to see. And like I said, the first 3 episodes were great, awesome. So to answer your question, my favorite season is Season 5. Okay, that's it for this Q&A. Like I said before, if you guys want me to do another one tomorrow, send me more questions. Anything at all about The Walking Dead that you're interested to know, and I will answer the question for you. So just have that in mind. If you guys want me to do another one, just send me the questions. I'll do it tomorrow. That's it for this video. If you guys like this video, please thumb it up. Also share and favorite. That will really help my channel out. And if you're new, you want to see these videos daily, please feel free to subscribe. See you guys next time, and thanks for watching.